Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Day at Home When Everything Feels Lighter and quote. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. The day began without urgency. No alarms screamed through the room. No rushing footsteps echoed in the hallway. The sunlight slipped quietly through the curtains, landing gently on the floor like it was afraid to disturb anyone. That was when my cat woke up, before I did, as always. She stretched slowly beside me, her small body arching like a lazy question mark. Her paws reached forward, toes spreading wide, then relaxed again. Her tail swayed once, twice, brushing lightly against my arm as if to check whether I was still there. I was, and she seemed pleased by that simple fact. She didn't meow loudly. She never did in the morning. Instead, she leaned closer, placing her warm forehead against my wrist. Her breathing was calm, steady, a quiet rhythm that made the room feel safer. I opened my eyes halfway and smiled without thinking. Somehow, before the day even started, it already felt lighter. When I finally got out of bed, she followed me with unhurried steps. Not rushing, not demanding, just present. In the kitchen, as I prepared breakfast, she sat near the window, watching birds dance across the sky. Every now and then, her ears twitched, her eyes widened, and her tail flicked with excitement she didn't need to act on. I poured her food into the bowl, and she waited. No impatience, no complaints, just trust. As she ate, I made coffee and leaned against the counter, feeling the quiet wrap around me like a blanket. There were still emails to answer later, tasks to complete, responsibilities waiting patiently in the background. But for now, they didn't shout. They didn't weigh on me. My cat finished eating and walked over, brushing against my leg. Not asking for anything, just reminding me she was there. That morning, nothing special happened. And somehow, that was exactly what made it special. Late morning arrived softly, like it had knocked before entering. I sat at my desk, laptop open, pretending to work while my cat claimed the warm spot beside the keyboard. She curled herself into a perfect circle, her tail wrapped neatly around her body, eyes half closed. Every few minutes, she opened one eye to check on me, then closed it again, satisfied. The house felt different when she slept nearby, quieter, calmer, as if her presence slowed the air itself. At noon, sunlight moved across the room, and she moved with it, never fighting the light, always following where it felt best. She stretched again, walked to the living room, and jumped onto the couch with a soft thump. From there, she watched me like I was a television show she didn't want to miss. I took a break from work and sat beside her. She immediately rolled onto her back, exposing her belly. Not an invitation, just a statement of comfort. I laughed softly and scratched behind her ears instead. Her purring started slowly, then grew louder, filling the space between us. Outside, the world continued rushing forward. Cars passed. Messages arrived on phones. Deadlines ticked closer. But inside our home, time behaved differently. She followed me into the kitchen again when I made lunch, then returned to the couch without complaint when she realized there was nothing for her to eat. Later, she chased a dust particle across the floor, pounced dramatically, and stared at the empty space like she'd accomplished something important. I laughed out loud, not because it was funny, but because it reminded me how easy joy could be. In the afternoon, we shared silence. She slept. I worked. And somehow, that togetherness made the work feel less heavy. As the sun began to sink, the house turned golden. Shadows grew longer, softer. My cat sat near the window again, watching the sky change colors like it was telling her a secret. I sat nearby, phone forgotten in my hand, simply watching her watch the world. Dinner was simple, nothing fancy. She sat close by, tail neatly wrapped, occasionally glancing up at me as if to say, "You're still here. Good." Later, when the lights were dimmed, she jumped onto my lap without warning. No hesitation, no asking, just trust and warmth. Her body fit perfectly, like she belonged there all along. Her purring vibrated through me, slow and steady, reminding my heart how to slow down too. I stroked her fur, noticing details I often overlooked. The way her whiskers curved, the tiny scar on her ear, the softness beneath her chin. She blinked slowly at me, a silent language that said more than words ever could. That day ended the same way it began, quietly. No dramatic moments. No big achievements. Just presence. Just warmth. Just a shared space where everything felt lighter because neither of us asked for more than what already existed. A day at home with my cat may seem ordinary, but it reflects something deeply important about modern life. In a world that constantly demands speed, productivity, and achievement, animals remind us that being is just as valuable as doing. My cat did nothing extraordinary that day, yet she transformed the atmosphere simply by existing with calm, trust, and gentle affection. From her, we learned to slow down without guilt, to rest without feeling lazy, and to appreciate the present moment without needing to document or justify it. She teaches patience by waiting quietly, mindfulness by observing small things, and unconditional connection by staying close without demanding attention. For us as humans, the lesson is clear. We should allow ourselves moments of softness. Spend time with animals not as caretakers only, but as companions. Listen to their quiet language. Learn from their rhythm. Let them remind us to breathe, to notice light, warmth, and presence. To apply this in daily life, try creating calm spaces at home, giving your pets undivided attention, even for a few minutes, and learning to rest without distraction. When we respect and nurture animals with empathy, we also become kinder to ourselves. In that shared kindness, both human and animal lives grow lighter, warmer, and more meaningful.